Hare Krishna, everyone. Uh, Today we are talking about Srimad Bhagavatam 3.8.5. I'll start with the verse translation purport. Swardhunyudardre swajata kalapir upasprashantas charanopadhanam padmam yadarchantya hiraja kanya sapremanana balibirvarartha. Swardhunyudardre swajata kalapir उपस्पृशन्तश्चरणोपधानम् पद्मं यदर्चन्त्यहिराजकन्या सप्रेम नानाबलिभिर्वरार्ता. Word-to-word translation. Svardhuni Uda, by the water of the Ganges. Ardre, being moistened. Svajata, bunch of hairs. Kalaphe, situated on the head. Upasprashantaha, by so touching. Charana Upadhanam, the shelter of his feet. Padmam, the lotus shelter. Yat, that which. Archanti, worships. Ahiraja, the serpent king. Kanya, daughters. Saprema, with great devotion. Nana, various. Balibihi, paraphernalia. Vara Artaha, being desirous of husbands. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The sages came from the highest planets down to the lower region through the water of the Ganges, and therefore the hair on their heads was wet. They touched the lotus feet of the Lord, which are worshipped with various paraphernalia by the daughters of the Serpent King when they desire good husbands. Purport. The Ganges water flows directly from the lotus feet of Vishnu, and its course runs from the highest planet of the universe down to the lowest. The sages came down from Satyaloka by taking advantage of the flowing water, a process of transportation made possible by the power of mystic yoga. If a river flows thousands and thousands of miles, a perfect yogi can at once transport himself from one place to another simply by dipping in its water. The Ganges is the only celestial river which flows throughout the universe, and great sages travel all over the universe via this sacred river. The statement that their hair was wet indicates that it was directly moistened by the water originating from the lotus feet of Vishnu, the Ganges. Whoever touches the water of the Ganges to his head surely touches the lotus feet of the Lord directly and can become free from all effects of sinful acts. If after taking a bath in the Ganges or being washed of all sins, a man guards himself against committing further sinful acts, then certainly he is delivered. But if he again takes up sinful activities, his bath in the Ganges is as good as that of the elephant, who nicely takes his bath in a river but later spoils the whole thing by covering himself with dust on the land. Start the prayers and then we can discuss something about this verse. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namah Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarini Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskrityam Narancheva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet. Thank you for letting me speak a little bit of Srimad Bhagavatam today. That means I have to meditate a couple of days at least on this topic. So thanks for this opportunity again. And this is again Canto 3, Chapter 8, 5. This section is particularly talking about the disciplic succession of Srimad Bhagavatam. And in the previous chapters, we know that Vidura is inquiring from Maitreya Rishi. And let me stop sharing. Yeah. Vidura is inquiring from Maitreya Rishi, and Maitreya Rishi is now explaining the cosmic manifestation. And we know there are two parts. There is Sarga and Visarga, and this is the Visarga part. There's a secondary creation from Lord Brahma, and the primary creation, we know the material elements, how they are created from the Lord himself. And this part is covering, or most of this canto is covering the second part, this cosmic manifestation. And as I said, this is the disciplic succession of Srimad Bhagavatam, but here the disciplic succession is coming from Lord Sankarsana himself to the sages, the 4 Kumaras, and headed by the Sanat Kumara. And I did a couple of research. The disciplic succession, or within the other purpose, Prabhupada explains this: Lord Sankarsana to Sanat Kumara to Sankhya Muni, and then it goes to Parashara Muni and Brihaspati, and from there to Maitreya Rishi. And here the sages, these 4 sages, they are coming from Satyaloka or Brahmaloka. We also know as it is Brahmaloka. And Lord Sankarsana, he is located, or he's below the lower region of Patala Loka. And there he is in meditation on the Lord, Supreme Lord Vasudeva. And when sages came, they are inquiring from Lord Sankarsana. That will be in the next few verses, but it's just a kind of introduction and giving a perspective to the topic. So the sages, these are mystic yogis, and they are they are coming from the highest planets. In fact, Prabhupada says any planets on any planet, like from Maharloka and above, which includes Tapaloka, Janaloka, the Satyaloka, these all inhabitants on these all planets are by naturally they have the gift of this mystic powers. So we don't have to work hard for them. I mean, they don't have to work hard for the mystic yoga powers, but by naturally these inhabitants have this mystic powers. And What are those mystic powers? As we know, there are like 8 Ashtasiddhis, and they naturally have those Ashtasiddhis. Some of them have, some of these siddhis are like the one who can become lighter than the lightest, heavier than the heaviest, who can transport themselves from one place to another place very quickly, and who can take up any form or shape, who can control any material elements in this universe. So these are some of the siddhis. And here they are using one of the siddhi to come from the highest planet to the lowest planet. So it is no wonder because they already have those powers. Even in this material world, people or yogis gets that perfection, mystic perfection of yoga. You know, mystic yoga like Ashtanga yoga includes that. That's just part of it, but one who perfects that, we hear some of them, the stories of some yogis, but they also do that. But Bhakti yoga, which is the main purpose of why sages came to Lord Sankarsana to inquire about the devotional service. And Sankarsana talks about this Srimad Bhagavatam. So the Bhakti yoga includes this mystic powers or mystic yoga. So, but Prabhupada says that devotees who are perfected in, or the pure devotees, uh, have these mystic powers, but they don't use it unless Krishna wants them to use it, or as just for the pleasure of Krishna or for Krishna's sake, they use it. But otherwise, they have perfected everything. They don't use it. I came across this like when in Dhruva Maharaj, in Narada Muni speaks to Dhruva Maharaj that if you, he instructs Dhruva Maharaj that if you meditate on the Lord and at the same time you chant this mantra, the mantra that was given to Dhruva Maharaj from Narada Muni, and if you have did the perfection, within 7 days you can see the living beings who are flying in the sky. What does that mean? Who flies in the sky without any mechanical vehicle? These are the mystic yogis. So this Bhakti yoga has such a tremendous power that one can uh, even see the living beings whom not every ordinary person can see. So those are the mystic powers which are already there. So one can achieve that through Bhakti. And because this is talking about Srimad Bhagavatam, and this is just the introduction from this chapter onwards. I was recently speaking to my daughter about Srimad Bhagavatam, the 3rd verse, the Nikama Kalpatarur Galitam Phalam. In that purport, Srila Prabhupada says that one who submissively hears this Srimad Bhagavatam, they can enjoy, or they can relish all the spiritual rasas that can only be relished in spiritual world. So in other words, one who attentively hears the Srimad Bhagavatam can actually experience those rasas even when we are living in this material world. Otherwise, whatever we are experiencing is the perverted form of those rasas in the form of lust, anger, and greed, which is the mundane rasas. But otherwise, if we can really understand or study Srimad Bhagavatam, one can even experience those rasas. And then in the purport, there the importance of the Ganges River was being explained, and there are several benefits of this river, the celestial river, which is flowing throughout the universe. That is how the sages have come through, from even the topmost planet to the lowermost planet. So that tells this is flowing throughout the universe. And where is this flowing from? It is flowing from the lotus feet of the Lord himself. And one who drinks this Ganges water gets salvation. These are some of the Vedic, our scripture says that one who takes or drinks water of the Ganges gets salvation. And also one who bathe in this river gets purified of all their sins. And even in this purport was being explained by Srila Prabhupada, that one gets purified. And in Bhagavad Gita, 10:31, Lord himself says that of all these flowing rivers, I am Ganges. So there's another evidence that this is such a purifying thing, and it's, in another words, it's Krishna himself. Now, in Canto 1, Chapter 1 and 15th verse, the Naimisharanya sages speak to Sutta Goswami that now this is even more important than the Ganges itself. Like the pure devotees, they glorify Sutta Goswami is by saying that verse translation says that the Ganges river can sanctify only after the prolonged use of it. Like you have to take bath every time whenever you see, and then it purifies your past and present sins, and that's how it purifies. And they glorify that the Sutta Goswami, that pure devotees can sanctify those who come in touch with them at the same time. It's not like Ganges, which has to sanctify, and again, we know once they come out of it, they come indulge in these material desires, and they sins come again. But once one who have pure devotees association can purify them at once. And there is another verse. This is again sages, the Naimisharanya sages asked Sutta Goswami to glorify the Lord. And in the chapter where Maharaj Parikshit gets cursed, they want to hear more about several questions that they have, especially of the Lord. And in there, Lord Brahma, there is a verse that says, Lord Brahma collects this Ganges water and he awards it to Lord Shiva as a worshipful welcome. And Prabhupada says that, so this Ganges water doesn't only purify the whole universe, I mean, it purifies the whole universe, including Lord Shiva. So such an importance was given to Ganges water. So we should take every opportunity to take a dip or to drink or whatever it takes to take this Ganges water so we get purified. Now in the purport, it says, one becomes free from all effects of sinful acts. This will be a little bit like a nectar of devotion class, pardon me, but I, as part of my Bhakti Shastri, I have to, not I have to, but got opportunity to read or to study nectar of devotion, and I went back and refreshed my memory. So people who are part of Bhakti Shastri can all refresh this as well here. I'll give a little bit of what is the sinful acts and what are the causes of suffering. So there are different sinful reactions. So one performs sinful act and there are different reactions that can come. And in the Nectar of Devotion, Rupa Goswami says, or again, he refers to a Padma Purana that talks about there are 4 primary causes of sinful reactions as part of the one who makes those sins. The Sanskrit terms for them are aprarabdha karma or aprarabdha, prarabdha, kutam, and bijam. Aprarabdha this is the effects of those sins that have not yet manifested. And prarabdha is the effects of those sins that is already manifested or already fructified. So aprarabdha karma, example is we know about this cruel hunter Mrugari. He used to kill these animals, poor animals in the forest, and he just not just to kill them fully, but he used to kill them, half kill them, and then he used to see them die. So such a cruelty. And we know for those kind of sins, there will be a uh, very big sins or very big sinful reaction awaiting us in future. And we know what happened after that. Narada Muni, he comes and he instructs, he passes on the devotional service to Murgari, and he became a devotee after that. And after, so that tells us the any future sins that he may incur was already vanquished. So the bhakti has such a potency to destroy all the uh, future sins, which is aprarabdha, that yet not yet manifested, but about to manifest in future. And Srila Prabhupada says that in one of his purports, people seems to be very happy, even though they see that people uh, are doing all kind of sins. We see them today. We see politicians or anybody. They're doing all kinds of sins. It's very clear, and one cannot stop them. But at the same time, they are very happy. So that is kind of the next one. That is the lying as a seed, kutam, kutastha. So these are Prabhupada call it as a stock. It is in stock. It will appear sometime soon or sometime in next life. So the next one is the prarabdha, the sins that have been already manifested that we see in the form of we see even in our day-to-day life, like people who are blind, deaf, dumb from their birth, who are going through legal complications or severe health disease. Um, so these are the things that we already see. They are already suffering from these sins, from their past sins. So this is prarabdha. And bhakti even destroys that. So the bhakti has such a potency that it can destroy all the sins. But now, even though it destroys the sins, or the Ganges water, one who takes bath in, or one who gets purified of this sins from past and present sins, but there is still one who get out of the Ganges water, just like there is a reference made here, that is from necro devotion as well, that elephant who took bath in any water body, but after coming back, it throws the dust again off from the shore onto that body. So that means the person who's free from all these sins, once he come back to these sinful proclivities, even after taking a bath in the Ganges water, or some people does charity or Vedic rituals or some austerities, they're all in the mode of goodness. They're all actually relieving us from the sins. It's good to do, but again, once they're out of it, their sinful desires, their sinful proclivities will cause the suffering again. Uh, Indulge them to do these sinful acts again. So that's why bhakti not only vanquishes these sinful activities or purifies us from the sins, but also it will also remove us from the material desires. So there are three causes of suffering. One is the papam, the sins that we spoke about, and the other one is the bijam. Sorry, not bijam, papam. The second one is bijam. Bijam is the material desires that we have. Example, I'm thinking of example. But the bijam, and the next one is the avidya, ignorance. So the bijam, or the material desire, is considered to be the secondary cause of our suffering. And the last one, the avidya, is the primary or the root cause of our suffering. And how that avidya is vanquished? By the vidya, by the transcendental knowledge. So one who have uh, taken the transcendental knowledge, even in the case of um, Srila Prabhupada, when he came to US, hippies are full of avidya, ignorance, in mode that what their behavior was. So once Srila Prabhupada gave them this transcendental knowledge, the nectar, then they got out of those sinful habits, and then the material desires have slowly vanquished, and then they became, at least some of them became pure devotees or practicing devotion now. So bhakti has again that potency. And so bhakti can vanquish the sins, the material desires, as well as it gives the knowledge. Even in the case of Bhagavad Gita, when Arjuna was seemingly being ignorant, Krishna gives knowledge. It's not that Arjuna was ignorant because he's already a pure devotee. For the case of all of us, that he became seemingly ignorant, and the Krishna, through the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, removed that ignorance. So bhakti can remove all our sufferings. It's very important for us to not just go and purify in different ways, but it is very important for us to practice this devotion. That is the only solution for the entire sufferings that we are facing today. There are a couple of minutes, but I'll stop it here. Please forgive me for any of my interpretation, or if something I did not put it in a way that I'm supposed to put it. Please forgive me for that, and open for any discussion or questions. If you don't have any, let's meditate on our Srimad Bhagavatam daily. But Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.